As a parent and a familiar friend of the NCPS, it is our utmost pleasure to welcome her and her family to the unique segment, the NCPS featured Family Chat. Please let's give her a round of applause. Thank you very much. Let's keep doing that as she gets here. Let's keep appreciating her. Thank you so much. Please let's appreciate her as she gets. All right, let's also have Mr. Wisdom. Let's appreciate him too.
Welcome, ma. I'm going to do my own introduction of her. Okay, so Dr. Olabisi Deji Folutile is here with her son, Wisdom. So we have two wisdoms in the room right now. Mr. Wisdom here, and so I'm sure he would like to meet you.
Oh,
you are older. So he's going to collect a word call from you. That was on a light note. So Mrs. Folutile was my last editor before I left Punch. And I told myself today that it's my honor. It's not her first time at NCPS. She was here in 2016, exactly 10 years ago, ma.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So she was at NCPS 2016 with Mrs. Yinka Ogunde of blessed memory. I honor her memory. And Mrs. Bumi Okay, yes. And one of the things I like to say about her before we go into the discourse, you wanted to give me that? Okay, thank you. One of the things I like to say about her before I go into the discourse is a lot of people are intentionally rewriting certain narratives. Please don't remain at the back. I have the testimonial of her that she made working as a woman in a male-dominated, very highly demanding workspace. She made it easy for me. Please celebrate her. Yes. So if you are still there as a female boss and you have younger women working with you and you are breathing it down their throat, the curriculum has changed. Right now, women support women. I didn't even know that cliche when I saw her real time. She acted the motherly role even though she was a supervisor, an editor, and she edited the Saturday Punch. So she's, by every standard, a very strong frontline journalist. Yes, we still call ourselves journalists, but at that very, very high level. Ma, I want to really thank you. I'm someone who does plenty of retrospective thinking. And each time I do, I remember people who played key roles for me. I will never forget her always driving me to the office. I mean, I'll join her in her car. She'll just stop by at my house and I'll join her. Whether it was when I was pregnant or whether I was coming out of maternity, just all of that. Please celebrate her for me. Thank you. And this is a message because I like to seize opportunities. If you're growing as a young lady or you're already high up there, please make sure that you don't remove the stairway for others after you have climbed. Ensure that you allow them to also thrive the way you are doing. I am here, I believe, partly because she played that role. Thank you so much again, ma. Thank you.
Thank you so much, boss. I appreciate you.
Thank you, ma. All right, so let's go.
Am I allowed to say something?
Oh, yes, yes,
okay,
please go on, ma.
It's so interesting the way Bossa is hyping me here. But let me just say that I also want to say that I'm very proud of you, Bossa.
Thank you.
And I'm very proud of your achievements. I always love what you do. And every time I see you making moves, I always say, oh, great. And interestingly, too, every one of you is really doing well. Yes. And I'm so proud of everybody.
Thank you.
All my team members, they are in fact, they are doing very excellently well. And that's a good thing to see as a former boss.
Thank you.
And also, even before we go into this discussion, I think all that you have mentioned in your opening address really addressed a lot of things. And I was just wondering, what else do we really need to hear here? Because, I mean, you've touched on everything that is necessary to build character and raise generations of people that can lead a nation and make a difference in a country like ours. I just feel that you've done it all. But just to say, well done.
Thank you
and
so
thank you
much.
for all you are doing.
Thank you, ma. Thank you. So, when they said there's a full circle moment, yes, this feels like it for me. Thank you very much, ma. So I'm going to go straight into, when you saw the theme of this NCPS, bridging the trust gap between the older and the younger generation, what comes to mind personally from your experience? So one thing I must warn you not to miss out on whatever she's saying. It's either you have a woman in your house who is a career woman who wants to really go high, or you have a sister you would like to help, or you are one yourself. Please fasten your seatbelt. This woman you see here has done more than 30 years, ma. Good. More than 30 years concurrently. So there's some 30 years that I did 5 years, and I did continuous in a profession where we are called gentlemen of the press. That is, you are either a man or you are a man. There's no opportunity to be a woman. And whilst your life has to answer some woman call of duty, and she has excelled. I also look at her family end. So that's my interest, and I look at her as a role model that she's doing it. You can do it too. This young man here is, permit me, I'm going to have to say baby of the family. But does it look like? No, he is not baby anymore. But how did you pull the strings? How were you able to put everything together? I would love all of those to come into your... But yes, when you saw trust gap building, how were you able to build trust with them? How weren't they thinking that you left them and you love your job? Because that's the worry of some young people. That it seems like this woman loves her job more than the family. Or maybe some men are feeling, why aren't you sitting down and taking care of the children? So it means that you're going to have to talk about your support system from husband's side, or were there people in your space? How are you that woman today that they look at her like, we're proud of you and we trust that you meant well all through up till now? So I just want you to speak as you are led.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, when I saw this year's team, bridging the trust gap, younger and older generation, I think that is something that has been an issue now. I see that the way the younger generation look at the older one, it's as if we are in two different worlds. And when I hear things that this younger generation talk about, by the way, kudos to the poetic guy. He did very well. He just spoke my mind about this issue. When I hear the younger generation, in fact, the things that they say worry them, I just open my mouth and I'm like, say not a problem. And when they tell me,
that's a typical Mrs. Folutiles for you. Where she push your robot.
And when they tell me that, that they are having mental things that you even tell them. Honestly, it's a different world. I tell you, it's a different world. Even as an employer of labor now, and I work with this younger generation, the way they take issues is different from the way we do. As a matter of fact, you can't, when you talk, they say you are shouting. When you try to correct them, they tell you that is a bully. That you are like, it's workplace bully. So, you just realize that to retain them, you have to change the way you communicate. You need to change the way you interpret even their actions. Because they tend to have mental issues fast. Before you know what is going on, they can stay one place and just be crying. And they may not even want to come back to work again. They may not want to come back to work. And so, it's a very contemporary issue that we are talking about here. It's something that we need, parents need. In fact, this room should be filled with adults. That is the truth. We need to learn how to navigate this place that we have found ourselves as the so-called older generation. And like you rightly mentioned, I think learning, relearning, and learning will help a lot of us, so-called older generation, and also being patient to see things from their own perspectives. For example, when I give advice and I talk about my own experience, before I even got to where I got to, the question my children will ask me is, that you passed through that does not mean that it's the right path. Honestly, that it doesn't mean that you have to go through that. You don't have to. And I'm like, me, I thought resilience was a strength. But they tell you that no, you don't have to allow anybody to treat you anyhow. But also, as parents, we must realize that today's younger generation have more opportunities. And the younger generation should also realize that they are living in a different world from ours. The opportunities you have today, we didn't have them. You can easily get out of your job today. You can be working in the US and be living in Nigeria remotely. We didn't have those opportunities. So when the older generation talk, also try to understand where they are coming from. It's not as if we too don't like ourselves. We do, but in our situation. I tell people, the younger people that work with me, situation make us also to hold on to what we have. But you know what? Like the poet guy said, there is no way you are going to throw away resilience. Even when you are trying to do what you are doing now, even with all the options that are before you, because I see that life has its lessons. And those lessons, whether you are older or younger generation, they will always come before you. They may take different shapes, but they will surely come. And those things that you think do not matter, you will now realize that they matter. And I guess the mode of presentation from parents could be the reasons why we are also having so much of mental challenge with the younger generation. Because when we talk to them and we behave as if we are superhumans, you see what the younger generation are going through. We went through them. Just that we didn't have that backing at that time. Where is the psychologist you want to go and see? Where will you even be thinking of seeing a therapist? Which therapist? Which therapist? When your parents are already breathing down on you that this is what, in fact, which therapist? This is what you should achieve, whether you have brain or you don't have brain, whether whatever, this is what you must do. This is where we want you to go. This is how you are going to succeed. And you must do it. You are talking therapist. Where is the therapist? But now, when with the younger generation, because they are more exposed, so even when we think they are doing things certain ways, we can also let them know that actually we too went through this. We suffer the same thing. We understand. We can empathize. We know what we are going through, but I mean, it is just what it is. This is how we think you could navigate, but for me, faith is a very strong thing for me. I am a faith person, and I believe that faith works. And I like the balance you made at the end of your presentation. Otherwise, I would have come against you. Yeah, because the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. When he grows up, he's not going to depart from it. It doesn't mean that you are not going to have challenges here and there. But the seed that has been sown is going to grow and is going to work. So the most important thing is that sow the right seed. Sow the right seed and keep watering the seed by your prayers, by counsel when necessary. Eventually, things will work well. So now, going back to my work time, okay? One of the things that I realized early was that I needed to take a decision on whether I wanted to be a career person or I just wanted to be a mother. I told myself that I wanted to be a career person. And I also told myself that I wanted to be a good parent. So I took a decision that the two are very, very important for me. And I'm going to handle the two as very, very important. I also took a decision that I was going to be, I knew, in fact, my career is not even a good one, like she rightly mentioned. Even up to today, you can count the number of females that get to become editors in the whole of Nigeria. Because from the beginning, the work is not, gentlemen of the press, people, they don't even recognize you're a woman. So you can't even act like a woman. Yeah. And in my own case, this is something I got into even before I got married. All my children, I had them in this profession. As a matter of fact, working in the Punch newspaper, and anybody that has heard about Punch newspaper, please, if you see anybody that works in Punch, always do like this. Sandaka. That place is a very disciplined, tough, and resilient place to work in. They don't take any nonsense from anybody. So you just have to be on your toes. And for you to now rise, that means that you must be doing something. You must be working maybe 3 times more than a typical man. Let me just put it that way. For a woman to be recognized as a journalist, you must have worked at least 3 times more than the typical man. Because the odds are just too much against women. So I took another decision, which is the fact that I'm going to be diligent in the 2 areas. So, number 1, it's important for me to build a career and build a home. Also, I want to be successful, so I need to be diligent in both ways. And
tell us how easy
that's where I'm coming to. That I can tell you that is not easy at all. is something that required a lot of sacrifice. Lots of sacrifice. You know what? I was doing school run. I would leave the office. Fortunately for us, our office was at Manguru, and I was living around the Egbeda side. Okay? I would leave the office, come to school, pick the children, take them home, tell them what to eat, go back to the office. You can imagine doing that. At a time, my husband and I shared the timetable. I do maybe 3 times. He does 2 times. Then later, we had some neighbors whose children were also attending the same school. So we tried to do carpooling, sort of. So we divided the days. So maybe it became like maybe 2 times for me. Then I was now doing that, maybe coming to work once. Then my Fridays, I'm always on Fridays because I don't go to work on Fridays. That was when the children were in primary school. As a matter of fact, there was a day I left office to come and pick these children. It rained. And if you know, they were attending St. Benedict School, primary school in Gowon Estate. If you know how that place is when it rains, you know that it's a terrible place. Also, I now said, let me just pass through this Okunla way where the mountain of Fireside is. Yeah, where you want to link Gowon Estate. I didn't know that the road was bad. In fact, there was a canal in that place that could carry a whole car. People inside their houses were just shouting, "Go back, go back." Meanwhile, I only left the office. I sneaked out of the office just to come and carry children. How will I do it? But I couldn't go back to the office that day. And I didn't die. I just told myself that I would not shall die. So it's at that primary school era, we left that one. So now ask me, I did boarding school. Yes, all of them. Because I was waiting for them to just finish primary school so that they can go to boarding school. Now, the boarding school experience. I wanted, at a time when the first 2 were close to one another, I wanted them to be in the same school, but it was not possible. So one was at Baptist Model School, Ijegun. The other Faith Academy. Guess what? They are visiting time, same day. What do I do? Which one will I leave? And at that time, I was even already an editor. I edited Saturday Punch, which meant I was closing. I could get home by 1 a.m. And Saturday, 2 visiting days. Yeah, I did it. I will go to Ijegun, from Ijegun to Canaanland. Please, when I say I will, remember that I have a husband. So we would. And I wasn't the one driving. My husband was the one driving. So we go to Ijegun. One day, there was so much traffic. By the time we got to FA, it was already 6 o'clock. They had closed their gates for parents. And I saw my son standing in front of the gate, looking at me, crying. It was winner. It was winner. He's not. I told the gatesman, I said, look at my son. Please, let me just say hello. This is what we have gone through. Allow me. He kukuma opened that gate for me now. And I saw him, and we still played small, and we went back. So we did that. Now, bless God. That era went, the university era came. You see, it's good to be very, very intentional when parenting. And like I said earlier on, diligence does not come cheap. It asks everything about you, your whole being. When our children were in Covenant University, we made it a duty to always see them every Sunday. A lot of people looked at us as if we were prying too much, that are they not adults? What are you looking for? And I tell you, it is the most inconvenient thing in this world for me to do. Remember I told you I closed one ear. Canaan Land won't even now help you. Their own service is 6 a.m. So you need to leave the house latest 4:45. Do you get that? And now I go to church on that Sunday. Their own service will end maybe like 11. The visiting time will start like maybe 12. And we now go there. We make sure we had lunch together. We talk. They share, like you were saying, the people your children are meeting, they are different from the, new exposure. They tell you some of their experiences. But I tell you that, even at that, they won't tell you everything. You just have an idea. Because there were things I still heard that I'm like, oh, despite all this time, all these ones still there, you understand? But it just, at least, it helps you to just be in company of one another, to just, because these are children that went through boarding school, remember, and you also need to bond with them. So because you know also that once they leave university, it's their way out there into the world. So whatever time you just need, that you have, you just want to just fellowship, connect with them, and all of that. So that way God just helped. Whatever it is again now, it is God's grace. So those are some of the things that you just do, and you trust in God. After all of that, because it is what it is.
Thank you so much, Ma. Please put your hands together for her. I had to allow her because, there's no way to tell the story of so many years in just 2 minutes. And thank you so much, Ma. I would like to hear from wisdom. And that's why you're here. I'm sure you knew. So, from your end, you've always been in a Christian family. As much as possible, went to a Christian tutored school. Very intentional, I hope you know. And growing up and seeing mom and dad's career, were there times when you felt there were things you expected them to do differently? It could be at any point during growth. There could be things that have even changed now, because the older people get, the more they understand and they change their views. So looking at it and sitting on this side today to talk, holding brief for young people who are also in the audience and those watching us online, what do you think you understand better now about what they were doing earlier at a stage in life that you felt, why this? And now you understand it better. Just so if there's someone watching and they are still in that place where you were, they can see that there can be another world where you see better from right now. Yes, because you're done with school, and that makes you a full man. And so there are things that you see better now than you did see them before. Yes, whether from mom's side or from dad's side, just feel free. Let's hear it out. And please don't look at our side if you have to say.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for inviting us for this. She told me many weeks ago, and she has just been always like, "Are you prepared? Have you read your talking points?" I said that I will say what I want to say. No. Well, yeah, I really appreciate the opportunity. I think straight to the question. Before starting, I would like to say that was very fortunate as a child. Even now as an adult, I can't say that there were too many instances where my parents were not like they're very good examples for us. I can
Celebrate
say that,
them. Celebrate them. That's
with every integrity, because if my parents were my only role models, I still think they are good enough role models for me.
Please celebrate that, and that's a message for all of us.
So it was very fortunate background, and then what I would also say is that in what you were saying earlier as well, it was just very resonant even as a young person, because I think there is the awareness. I think you said something earlier about how maybe you felt like there should have been a better reaction to something, but you first say, "Oh, acknowledge that. Oh, I understand why you reacted this way, but," and sincerely, that's just the I think is a key and keyhole kind of thing where how you respond to a child also kind of determines how they respond to you, and that's been the case in our home. One thing she didn't really mention, even though she hinted at it, is we have a culture of openness, and we talk a lot to each other. So even at this point, I have friends my age who are like, maybe they come visiting and they're like, you and your parents are like friends, or they see like my dad and my mom in the same space and I'm just close by, and they just tell me when they are going, like, "This is not how me I grew up," and that kind of thing. And that's when you realize that, because there are very few things that I can't tell my mother, maybe out of respect or something, but not a fear of judgment or a feeling of like a fear of repudiation or like condemnation. She's just a very nice person to talk to. My dad as well, to the degree that he is, because we are very similar, so we don't talk a lot to each other. But then in the case of looking back on their own lives, one thing that really helped us, and I would say if I can speak for my siblings as well, is that we always have the awareness of we judge our parents based on the context of their own background. And we try to think that, imagine we came from that background, how much can we give to someone else? So if we judge them from that, they are scoring A1. But if we try and judge them like from our own background, from our context, it's very different. My mother can just say something like she never saw her parents hug, and for her she just says it in passing. I hug all my parents, my siblings every day. Like, it's random. I mean, like we are very. So it's just very foreign to me, and I'm
wondering how is that possible?
How is that possible? So just also having that awareness also helps us. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Would there be anything you'd like to say about family values? You mentioned openness, that we have a culture of openness. Would you like to? Are there key family values that the Folutiles, it might not have been articulated directly, but, and I'm going to ask him, if there are, he will be able to mention, like, these are the things. The baby boomer generation will always say, you must not steal. Almost every good parent of those days will say, if you steal, I kill you. If you lie, you are in trouble. I mean, there are just those things that that people of that generation who want to uphold value, they just have those. It might not be more than 3, but those ones, once you do anything around it, you are in trouble. But are there values that In addition to openness, like you said, open communication, are there other things that you recall? Okay, you want her to answer it? All right.
Well, like I said earlier on, we are a family of faith. So, trust in God is our number one family value. Trusting in Him in every situation and believing that He will always come through for us, no matter what the situation is. Whatever the challenge is, He will come through. So we hold the word in high esteem. Also, we have a family value of obedience to godly instructions. Whatever God says, it doesn't mean that we always do, but that is what it is. And when you go out of it, you know you have gone out of the way, but that is the way. Also, naturally, don't take anything that does not belong to you. And don't take anything except you get permission. When I was in Punch, if you know how many number of times that this boy will be calling me, Mommy, can I take chocolates? Mommy, things like that. You just need to ask before you take it. Then honesty. Then say things as they are. You don't need to lie. Nobody is going to kill you. Nobody is going to kill you. If this is it, say it. And so you don't need to lie. And such that even now, when we see people that just like anyhow, maybe just like, why are you lying? Because it's not really it's not that deep. Yeah, so because it's not. Thank you, I don't know.
Do you have anything to add, or she has nailed it?
Well, I would say because Dad is not here, but from his end, he was also very keen on. There's something we used to do called success practices. So every day we were expected to read a book of Proverbs, because there are 31 books in the book of Proverbs. So one chapter a day for a month, and we'll memorize one verse and tell him the verse and why we chose that verse. He would also ask us something new we learned every day that was not school related. So just like from life, from a book you read, he was also very keen on exposing us to. So I didn't really have an experience of even maybe, when we were in school, maybe they'll say, oh, this book, my parents said is demonic, that you shouldn't read that. But that wasn't really that way, because he just believed that you can't police children forever, and when they get to that point, they will now seek out those things at a point where you can't even now be under they are no longer under your watch. So he was just very keen on being the one that would bring information, and he was very kind of objective in how much information we learned, but also guiding us in the right way. So
thank you. Please celebrate the Folutiles for me. You can make it bigger. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much.